I do not tolerate cowardice. Who dares defy my will?
Okay guys, welcome to Varsity Network streaming of BHS versus BHS versus CA Culver. It's going to be an exciting match as they are the second and third team in the East Division.
I'm on to you.
As we see right now, we see a Darius and Twitch ban on the side of, I believe that is BHS. No, sorry, on the side of CA Culver and BHS, as you can see. And BHS, as you can see by the clan tags on the right side, have banned Jarvan so far. I'm waiting on the second ban right now. And we see a Culver ban right now. So we're seeing two of the bigger hyper carries right now being banned, as obviously those are meta. They've fallen a bit out of the meta as of lately with the Ardent Sensor nerfs, but they are still absurdly strong.
I'm absolutely livid.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, and we see a Vladimir ban on the side of CA Culver to finish things off. Looks like they've probably done some preliminary scouting on the other team to ban out some of the champions that they obviously play, or they just do not want to play against the safety that Vladimir offers. And a Straka ban, actually, as she is probably one of the highest win rate supports on this current patch, just very strong laning, just really safe as well, and can be just a pain. Azir being the first lock-in, that's very interesting, as we see a mid lane pick on the side of CA Culver. Azir is a very high skill cap champion. We'll see if they can pull it off. However, he does go very well into a lot of matchups. I'm not sure if he's a great blind pick because you can pick good assassins into him like the Fizz. However, that is also a skill matchup, so we'll see if that's something CA Culver is willing to take. And that's a very interesting first two picks on the side of excuse me, on the side of BHS, a Kled and a Shyvana. So we're already seeing that they want to go in very hard with these two tanky frontline champions that are also bruisers, able to just go in and kind of take down CA Culver's frontline and then dive their backline if they can with that Shyvana and the Kled ulti. We see a Taric lock-in that's going to help protect against the potential engage. If they see it coming, they can just lock in that Taric ulti, get those invulnerability, and they're going to see what their top lane pick is right now to counter that Kled up, so they cannot ban the Kled counter picks. I would love to see Fiora here, as Fiora is a very strong counter, but it looks like we're seeing a lot of interesting hovers, GP, Yasuo, and he is going to lock in the Yasuo. We don't have any other we do actually have the Azir knockup, so he could go in off that if Azir can get a nice Azir sec, and it looks like we're going to see possibly a Syndra mid pick as a more stable mid pick to kind of keep that Azir in check, push him in early, or try to match his early push, and it looks like we are going to see that, so I'm interested to see what's going to be banned. We might see a lot of junglers or ADC bans here by the side of BHS as they're trying to target what Culver has not picked just yet. Might see the Sejuani ban coming in here. It looks like we see the Kayn ban. Okay, it looks like they do not want to play against that Kayn on the side of BHS.
Draven out.
Culver bans Draven, wanting to pinch that ADC pool without pinching their own, as I guess their ADC does not play Draven, and it's not something they want to subscribe to. We'll see what else BHS bans. I expect another jungler ban. I do expect Sejuani, but you never know what the other jungler picks, so we'll have to see what they end up banning here.
They fear me.
It looks like a Warwick ban, so possibly some scouting on the side of BHS on what the other jungler plays, wanting to target his pool. However, Sejuani is always just a very strong pick, but we will see if Culver does not play it, then it looks like this will work out from BHS as they pinch the jungler pool of the other team. And we see the Caitlyn ban finishing out the ADC pinch here. But it looks like Tristana was left open the whole time, so BHS is going to be happy to just pick that one up. Maybe a miss ban on the side of Culver, unless they wanted them to pick that. We'll see. Xayah also left open, so Xayah, Tristana, two very strong ADCs as well. And it looks like we're going to see, a Lee Sin pick up here. So we did not pick up that Sejuani. We want to go for that early playmaking, which also works very well with Yasuo, as Lee Sin ulti into a Yasuo ulti is an instant combo that does a ton of damage and CCs the other team for quite a while. and it looks like we might see their Khan pick up as the last pick to round it out, or an Alistar. Both of these are going to be very good champions to engage and help that out. When you get like a Kled ulti in, Alistar just runs after you with that Kled ulti. It could be very strong. Same with their Khan, however, with the quickness and the grand entrance, going to be a very good CC combo. So both teams here looking to be pretty strong. Running down both teams, CA Culver is looking to kind of win the early game, kind of stabilize in the early game and scale into the late game, as Yasuo should be able to win that 1v1 later on in the game against Kled. However, Shyvana can also try to influence that, doing like almost a double split push, a 1-3-1 if you will. It also looks like that there is a strong teamfight comp on both sides, so we will have to see who gets the better edge. If BHS starts snowballing and gets that Shyvana off, getting a lot of dragons to buff the team with that passive buff on Shyvana, getting stronger and stronger with each dragon you take, it's just going to be a very strong and snowball the game. So we'll have to see if BHS can snowball the game. CA Culver is going to have to watch out for that snowball, and if they do get to the team fights, I do think they are favored in this game. We'll have to see what Lee Sin can kind of do to make picks throughout the game. And without further ado, let's get into the game and see what goes on here. So as we wait for spectator delay, we do have to kind of wonder what lanes are going to win and what lanes the junglers are going to have to focus. So if we look top lane, it's going to be a pretty skill-based matchup. The Yasuo versus Kled could go either way. It's going to depend a lot on what Lee Sin and Shyvana do to those lanes. If Lee Sin happens to get the first gank off, it's going to go obviously Yasuo favored. Same with Shyvana, but if Lee Sin comes at level 6, we do see a lot of kill potential with that previous mentioned R combo from both of them. In the mid lane, once again, it's a pretty even matchup. However, Syndra does gain a lot of kill pressure at level 6. I cannot exactly see the summoner spell. I think it is Exhaust on the side of Syndra and Barrier on the side of Azir. Very smart matchup picks, as if Syndra gets in range to exhaust Azir, a lot of Azir's DPS is going to go down, and conversely, Azir has Barrier in case Syndra decides to go for an ulti all in. Barrier's going to give a lot of shielding for that to help mitigate that damage. So once again, this is a lane that's going to be determined by the junglers. However, Lee Sin does have the impact, has a greater impact in ganks, as Shyvana does not have any real built-in CC until she is level 6 with her Dragon's Ascent. So we'll have to see what Shyvana can do, if she's just going to power farm, or if Shyvana is going to actually come in for those ganks, counter ganks, and see if she can just out jungle this Lee Sin. Now, in the bot lane, it looks like a pretty favored lane for BHS, with the Tristana just being able to push in that lane. Both of the supports do have some okay sustain. Rakan has the Q sustain, Taric also does. However, neither are really favored at the early levels, as Taric's mana costs are pretty high, while Rakan's healing is just not very strong in general. So we'll have to see what goes on there, but we do have to give the early push into BHS. They'll hit the level 2 first, very likely with the Tristana E passive pushing the wave, and they should be able to get that level 2 advantage, hopefully, and be able to snowball that into a CS lead eventually. So as we wait to get into game, that's kind of what we're going to have to look at. We do, if I'm seeing that correctly, I do actually see an Ignite on the Rakan, so that's a very interesting deviation. While Taric did take Exhaust for kind of the Kled and the Shyvana, the Rakan with Ignite is going to be very interesting. They're trying to play off that kill pressure that they already have from the level 2, and as we're about to get into game, 5 seconds left, let's see if they can pull off those early game kills in the bot lane. That's really where their BHS is going to be looking to snowball their advantage from. Okay, as we are finally loading into this game, we do have to give BHS a little bit of an advantage. They do have that club tag all synced up while Culver does not. We'll have to see if that plays into the mental state of these players. You know, the combined syncrasy of BHS may just play into the Culver's mind. You know, never know what's gonna happen. We do see a Thunderlords on Lee Sin. Interesting pickup there. Uh, Everything else looks pretty standard, except for maybe the Bond of Stone. I believe that's still what it's called on Rakan. A Stormborn Pact. I take that back. So basically, with Stormborn Pact is very different. It could help a lot for the Ardent Rush if Rakan decides to go Ardent Sensor. Basically, Stoneborn Pact, whenever you CC an enemy, you're going to CC or slow an enemy, you're going to be able to, your teammates, when they auto attack the enemy, you'll be able to heal off based off a percentage of your HP. Or Rakan's not building tanky, it's just another way to proc Ardent Sensor, which may be what BHS is trying to go for here. So we'll see if that ends up paying off for them or not as we load into the game. Once again, things are very standard for both teams. We're seeing Hunter's Machete on both junglers, just ones with that auto attack damage in. We're seeing Dorn's Shield actually pick up Isaiah. Actually knows she's probably going to lose that 2v2 lane. And we do see a possible invade coming in from the side of BHS. However, they might just be stacking in the bush. Lee Sin does spot them out with the Q, and that's probably going to dissuade that BHS from going in any further. We see a Relic Shield start actually by the Taric over here. That'll be very interesting because while Relic Shield is a good item for a little bit extra sustain in lane, and while it does give the gold, it's not going to give as much gold as the coin will, which you do see a lot of supports doing right now to get that Ardent Sensor Rush, which Rakan seems to be doing. We'll see if he ends up going for that, or whether he decides to go for a Redemption or something else in this matchup. So we'll have to see what goes on exactly here. Both junglers getting a proper leash, red buff for Lee Sin, jungling towards the top side, same with Shyvana going towards the top side. So they'll probably meet up for level 3 gank, and we'll have to see what happens in the 2v2 top side. Very standard leash coming in as both teams can head into the bot lane. Not much to really talk about here other than the fact that we do have those two skill matchups coming in both the top and the mid side, so we'll have to see what exactly goes on there, how to influence that. We do expect BHS to win the bot lane. We see a few little trades coming in, but nothing too much happening. Just end up having to see what happens here in all these lanes. Yasuo just getting those tornado stacks, trying to harass the Kled down before Lee Sin comes in for the gank. It does look like Lee Sin is jungling a little faster than Shyvana. However, if Shyvana goes straight to red like she is right now, we will see the two junglers meet up in the top side and prepare for a fight, either over Scuttle Crab or a counter gank at the top side. So we'll see how that ends up going down in a few minutes. No large CS leads right now, other than a possible few CS up on Yasuo. However, the wave is pushing into Kled, so he'll be able to recoup that. We do see Shyvana going up top side while Lee Sin is taking Scuttle Crab. Yasuo was not aware of this. Shyvana's coming in right here. We'll see if Yasuo can get the outplay here. Kled dismounts, and it looks like Yasuo may have this as he has to end up flashing out actually as he goes back in. Looks like he might be able to juke out for a little bit to save time for Lee Sin, but it looks like he was not able to do it in the end. Kled gets the first blood. Great play by BHS to ignore this Lee Sin going for Scuttle Crab, go straight up to the top side. You have to wonder what Culver was thinking. They did see the Shyvana there, so they should have known to back off. A little bit of a misplay by Show-Ask as the Yasuo. However, we do see a possible dive coming back in top lane with Lee Sin still hovering around. See if they end up going for the play, as Yasuo did have to burn all of the sums. Kled still has both his, however, we could see a return gank as Kled is once again dismounted. Bot lane getting the push in, even CS however. so it does not look like there's a CS lead just yet for the side of BHS as we might have expected based off the draft here. However, no jungle retention means that BHS is going to continue to get this push in, and not much actually going to be happening in the bot lane as of yet. Top lane, the dive was called off as Shyvana could still be up there, Culver not wanting to take a risk. However, actually, Lee Sin may be moving up for a bush gank in top lane. However, Kled does look like he wants to back, so we'll have to see if they end up going for this. Shyvana is up here now, Lee Sin looks like he's backing off. However, it looks like BHS might be wanting to go back in on this, get a return gank on the Yasuo when his flash is down, and here comes Shyvana. We'll see if Shyvana can get this once again. She has the red buff, she just starts beating down on this Yasuo. They may be able to find another kill here. Red smite goes down, Lee Sin comes up. Shyvana has to flash out, respect to Lee Sin. Lee Sin misses the Q, Yasuo hits his Q out, and that's just going to be a small disengage. Small advantage over to Culver, getting the flash down from that Shyvana. Good response by Lee Sin, master dive here on that Lee Sin. Knowing that Shyvana's here, I need to go up and respect my laner. Gets immediately off drop and comes to assist the laner. Looks like a small actually lead from trading just in the mid lane. Zir getting some good trades off onto Syndra, forcing her to use some pots, while Zir is relatively healthy. No CS lead just yet, however. It does look like there's actually a small CS lead for the Xayah in the bot lane, which is very interesting, as we do know Tristana should be getting a little bit more of a CS lead. Looks like a blue side ping is coming down there, so maybe they want the Lee Sin to come down and assist them, kind of turn their pressure into a kill, as they do know that there are no wards by BHS just yet in this bot lane. However, they do not need to ward just yet, because they do know Lee Sin is only at his, about at his race, so it's not a big urgent rush, especially with Jay Weezy here on the Shyvana, already down there. Another big trade in the mid lane, however nothing comes of it, as Syndra just disengages with the stun. We do see a possible jungler meetup in the mid lane, however. Shyvana waiting in that bush, Lee Sin coming around. Looks like they may be willing to go on, and Kled also moving down to the mid lane, and we'll see if they can just go on to Lee Sin. You know he has flash, however, so he may just flash over the wall, and it looks like that is what happened. Azir getting a little aggressive here, being in, however, nothing comes of it. It's a little more harass damage onto that Syndra, onto that Shyvana. Tyrek missing the stun on the bot lane, Khan going in with the grand entrance, a little bit of trade here once again. Nothing really coming of it. We see a trade in the top lane, however, at the same time, Yasuo and Kled on top of each other. Yasuo level 6, Kled is not. Let's see if Yasuo can get it. This is the Q. Kled's about to get the courage to remount. Yasuo has to run away from this. Kled flashes in. Is he going to be able to get the kill? It looks like he might. Jousting all around. Yasuo is able to dash through the minions and get away, however, just in the end. Kled's got to be careful with these minions, however, as he goes back in, trying to look for his kill. It looks like Yasuo might be able to get the kill here. And wow, both very low HP on the Kled, on the Yasuo. Extremely tense battle from the top. Well played by both sides to be able to skirt in and out of danger and ultimately not die on either side. They were both looking to get the kill. However, Yasuo will gain a small advantage as he pushes that large wave into the tower, forcing Kled's TP back to lane to be able to catch that wave. Yasuo actually does have another large advantage though, as Kled is recouping the wave. He will only be about a wave or two behind. However, this is a big deal as we did see Kled roaming down to middle lane earlier. He did miss quite a bit of CS for that, and now he will suffer a little bit because of that, as he has less gold bot. He only has the base bot, while Yasuo does have that zeal, he does have the boots, and he does have the door and shield. We'll have to see if these trades continue to go in favor, if these trades will now start to go in favor of Yasuo, or if Kled can keep it up with his 1-0 lead. We do see Lee Sin coming up on top. We do see Shyvana on the side. She may be able to respond. However, with the Yasuo ulti into it, we may see Lee Sin take back once he's dismounted, or gets to finish the kill off. Looks like they do not finish the kill off, forcing Yasuo's splash actually in the end. However, they do secure the kill, and ultimately it's not a big deal. The secure advantage, Yasuo is able to get that advantage in the lane. He's going to be able to push up the wave and further snowball that hit, something that BHS does not want to happen. It looks like we have Shyvana getting very aggressive onto the Lee Sin in the jungle. forcing the safeguard out over Warthog. Very good play by Shyvana, just knowing that you have the damage to keep going, and just pushing that in. Something that Master Side Beater on the Lee Sin may not have known, as Shyvana is a less common champion seen in. We see actually a CS lead in the mid lane too, for Azir on the side of Culver. You see a nice trade in bot lane. It looks like Kamikaze gonna get aggressive, use that ulti. Seraph is going to use that ulti as well, but it's too late, too little too late, as it looks like BHS are gonna take the kill. So I got aggressive with that Featherstone, trying to do as much damage as you could to pump out back, but it looks like it was not enough, as BHS, Easy Ace, and J-Man Mac are going to live with just enough HP, and with that kill secured, Shyvana knows that he will start up on that dragon, secured the advantage, and yeah, there's Ocean Drake for the team. Shyvana gets that passive proc off too, scaling a lot better than a lot of other champions with dragons. See Lee Sin trying to look for a gank up top. He does possibly put a Scuttle Crab, trying to get some more vision for his team. And right now the game's looking pretty good for actually it's not looking very good for either team. Both teams are not exactly doing what they want to. BHS did get those kills in the bot lane, however top lane is the losing matchup. They do not want this Kled to not be able to match this Yasuo in the 1v1. And it looks like this is what's going to be happening with that Ninja Tab by it. Kled's not going to be able to do enough damage to really burst through that Yasuo, take him down. So Yasuo is favoring that 1v1 right now. And Culver on the other side, they did lose that trade in the bot lane, giving a kill to Tristana. However, they do also have quite a large CS lead on the Xayah. So we'll see if the CS lead is enough to make up for the kill that was given over. See another trade in top lane. We'll see if Yasuo can get the better of this. Let's not hit the tornado, and it looks like Kled did get the better of the trade in the top lane. We do see Lee Sin, however, positioned to get a gank down in the bot lane. He may be waiting for Xayah to come back before he starts it. And we also see Shyvana coming for a gank in the top lane. She is spotted by a ward, however, and Yasuo will know to back off. See Shyvana going down, continues to back off. We see Lee Sin getting flank on the Tristana, however not ulting actually in time, and Tristana is able to come over on the other side. Shyvana is trying to come down to assist Syndra in the mid lane. Our team Azir may have gotten the better, as both mid laners trade the flash. Azir still has his ulti. He actually misses his ulti on Shyvana, not being able to push her into tower. However, the Syndra does walk into tower range. It takes a little bit of extra damage from the Azir and does fall in the end. A very confusing play by Skeenid on the Syndra. Possibly thought he could get the extra Q. Oh, we do see a little play by Master's Eye Peter once again on that Lee Sin, just waiting for Shyvana to reclaim into a jungle and taking the Q ulti into just killing her straight up, as she was low from that mid lane skirmish. He isn't going to be able to take that blue, and it looks like Culver is in control of this game right now. They do have strong late game comp, so they may be able to take it down. However, Kled, it looks like he's winning this 1v1. I was totally wrong about this matchup, as he just takes that 1v1 down. Yasuo getting cocky in being able to get that CS, and well played by X-Blue pick on Kled. Being able to still win that 1v1 even when he was behind on CS and behind on the gold. Very well played in there. We still see a 10 CS lead in the bot lane by Xayah, by Zertis69 on Xayah. We'll see if he can keep it up, as it does seem like he is so far. He's kept this 10 CS lead up even in an unfavorable matchup. However, they did give that solo kill over, so we'll see if Easy Ace and J-Man Mac can be able to pull off another solo kill like they did before. With Shyvana heading down, she is spotted by Scuttle Crab, and it looks like she's just going to go mid instead, or maybe to the enemy Raptors. We see Kled also roaming to the mid lane, possibly just for a ward. However, he could try to make a dive on that Azir, as we do know he's flashless and has no barrier. Looks like he's just going to move up, try to get some deep vision instead. He's him starting up on blue. He may be giving this blue over to his Azir, which would give a nice, another large lead to Culver, as they do already have a 20 CS lead in the mid lane, very large. Looks like he is going to take it instead, and it looks like Jay Weezy getting very aggressive, just pumping out massive damage with that upgraded jungle item. And that was kind of insane, actually. I did not think Jay Weezy would get that kill so handedly. However, he did. Looks like Yasuo's getting aggressive top. They do know Jay Weezy's here, but here comes Azir missing the ulti because of the side dismount. Very unlucky. However, Shyvana is trying her best to take down that Yasuo. However, she's not having the damage, missing that ulti from before as she used it on Lee Sin. Does not have it there to use to get that extra damage. So it looks like Culver are going to take the lead so far on the top side of the map. Small trades going down in bot lane, however, in favor of BHS. That's where BHS is going to want to continue to play the game around, as it seems like the other lanes will start losing pretty handedly now. As we do see a CS lead in all lanes, leading to this 2k gold lead at 15 minutes. First turret blood down from Yasuo, just getting the solo gold right there, I believe. So that's going to put him massively ahead of Kled. He may be able to finish his Phantom Dance right now as he backs. Small trades in the mid lane, however, oh my gosh, that Thunderlord proc is taking down Syndra. She did not, Skeeted did not expect that from on the side of BHS. And just a lot of damage pumping out from Azir. It looks like they're, instead of BHS being able to snowball with the comp of Kled, the comp of Shyvana like they wanted to, it looks like Culver is going to be able to snowball instead. Shyvana trying to get a little aggressive, making sure he cannot kill that turret, as it is very low. He wanted to get a little greedy for it. Shyvana did get that red smite off just to tell him to back off. We do have 4 men coming bot trying to push in the bot lane instead. However, they are spotted by controller. They do know that their plans are a little foiled for now. However, we do see the Emperor's Divide back up. Lee Sin taking on to that Gromp, trying to just get behind them. He has the Dragon's Rage if he wants to try to make an insect play. We do see a response by the by BHS. 2 people in the top lane. Looks like Yasuo's gonna walk into that push and just get massacred by Shyvana and by Kled. Nothing really he could do there. Had no ults on that push. So it looks like we're waiting for Culver to push in on the bot lane and try to make a play. However, EZA is trying to make sure that it's not getting stunned up. Instead, however, Emperor's Divide comes in, stops his rocket jump, and it looks like just an easy cleanup for Culver. Kled does respect with the teleport. However, Tariff's ulti, Positive Radiant, coming down, going to be able to save them. Kled trying to get a little aggressive there, get a little trade on Sensaya. However, he does not find much as he has to back off as the rest of the Culver responds to his ability. Syndra trying to get a little aggressive on that mid turret, put a little pressure down. However, Culver going to start Ocean Drake, try to take one back for himself. Shyvana's having none of this though, as she might be just going in to try to get that Zero Drake. Zero respects it and backs off. Shyvana does go in anyway, with that Kled backing up with Center Con. He's going to get the smite fight, he's going to get the smite. It looks like no one smites it, as Azir gets it instead. Flash over by the Kled, trying to get the kill onto Azir. However, Azir takes the blast cone away. He sends safeguards away, and it looks like no kills go down from either team. Yasuo, however, finds the Rakan, finds the Kled, however, as well. Will he be able to get a kill here? Does not look likely, as Syndra collapses on him, and it looks like Toas gets taken down in that Yasuo. Fight continuing to get aggressive. In the backline, Leeson getting in the middle. Azir coming back into the fight. Syndra ulti going off onto, I missed actually who it went off onto. As Shyvana is going aggressive, getting that kill onto Azir, getting another kill onto Zaya. Triple kill for Jay Weezy on this Shyvana, and an ace coming out for BHS. Unexpected that Culver would stay that long for that fight. BHS continuing to fight because they knew they had the health bar, they knew they had the advantage, and they get an ace, putting them back in this game, as it looked like they were just going to get snowballed out with the advantage that Culver was creating in CS. While they are still 2k behind, they do have the tempo advantage, so we'll see what they're able to do with that, see if they can get that mid lane turret down to kind of equalize that gold, as they still do not have any towers, and it looks like they will be able to get this tower. Tristana is going to try to put a lot of damage onto that bot lane turret, as Tristana does. She puts so much damage with that, with her E onto the towers, just letting that bomb explode, rack up damage. It looks like she gets that turret from full HP to a less than half HP, just insane siege potential from Tristana. She may be able to try to get that full turret if she greeds for it. However, Lee Sin is coming down there. She does not see it, and it looks like she's going to get the turret. See if she can get out of there, however, with Lee Sin trying to follow up. She buster shots him away. However, Lee Sin does get the Q onto her, follows up, and it looks like she will be able to Dragon Rage this into a kill. good kill from Master Side Heater onto EVA. However, it looks like Kled's coming up in the top lane. We can't talk about that play anymore. Kled and Shyvana going to try to make the play. Shyvana missing the ulti, however, does not matter, as it looks like Yasuo is going down here. Another unstoppable by Jay Weezy. Just another kill picked up. He really is showing us how to snowball on that Shyvana. Bot lane push coming in from the Xayah and the Taric, seeing if they can try to answer for this turret, as EVAs had gotten them killed, has gotten the turret for them before. We'll see if Lee Sin can try to make a play here, as he is taking a lot of damage from that minion wave. Syndra's coming up, and it looks like Syndra's going to try to ult him for the kill. Not even going to use the ult. Going to hold the ulti for Xayah and the Taric. However, they do take down the turret. We'll see if Skinid can try to get the kill on them. However, he's just going to end up farming the bot lane instead, while her Shyvana and the Kled decide to try to take the turret top. Azir is going to be able to stop them handedly, just chunking out Shyvana with his massive lead that he has. Already has that Rylai's Crystal Scepter and that National Piece finished on him, so he's feeling really strong right now. Frog the throat on that Azir pick. As we wait for more action to happen, we do need to look at the gold graph, as it does look like there was a 2k gold lead before for CA Culver. It looks like the gold lead has massively shrunk, as there's only about 500 gold separating these two teams. Not a very massive gold lead for Culver anymore, as they had thrown it in that previous ace with those two turrets that BHS was able to take. So this next fight is really going to determine a lot of what's going to go on. It looks like Baron is up, and it's going to be a while for the next Drake to spawn. All the outer turrets are gone except for Culver's top lane turret, and it looks like it's going to get caught by the grand entrance. However, Rakan may not have wanted to go in the first place. Great triple stun by Skinid on that Syndra just to be able to disengage that. However, nothing really going to come of it other than the disengage. It looks like Lee Sin is trying to back up with Yasuo in the top lane, as Kled now is able to hold Yasuo in that 1v1. Yasuo was 2-2, but we have to remember he got caught out by a lot. He got camped by Jay Weezy and Bluetick, being able to get a lot of kills onto him in return. Looks like Kled is just doing a lot of damage to him. However, Lee Sin is coming up, so we'll see if he can turn this around. Does not look likely, as Kled is going to go down to Lee Sin and Yasuo. We do see an Azir ult actually happening mid. However, that was just to disengage, I believe, as you could get caught by Shyvana in dragon form and a Syndra and Rakan. You want to get out of there. Oh, looks like Lee Sin trying to get really aggressive, taking that red buff when he not have his teammates to back it up. He does end up stealing it with that precisely timed Q. Great timing by him. However, it looks like the rest of BHS is going to come up. Yasuo is going to try to do the sacrifice of the lamb. However, it does not look like it matters, as both of them will probably go down in the end, and they do. It looks like BHS is taking control of this game, and it looks like Culver may have just thrown their massive lead that they had. They are still 1k gold ahead, actually, even despite these plays, with those large CS leads. 50 CS in the bot lane, 50 CS in the top lane, about 30 CS in the mid lane. However, they are not able to translate these into any more objectives. The next Drake spawning in 30 seconds, Infernal, it looks like, actually, instead of going for Infernal, it looks like BHS might turn on to Baron instead. However, they decide better, knowing that Infernal is about to be up. They can fight over that instead, less risky, and they will take a lot less damage and have a lot less worry about that Azir, who could just go in and try to get a great 5-man ulti on them. It could be potentially disastrous for them. So the one hope for Culver right now is to get a great Azir pick. Peel for that Azir, peel for that Xayah, who's still very strong. Looks like XP pick is going to go in on the Kled, however he goes into a lot of members. Xayah getting caught out, using that Featherstone to get out. Great clear shuffle into the rest of the team. However, it looks like Shyvana had gotten caught up in that too, as Shyvana is going ham on the other team. Taric will be coming in a little too late to save Taric's life, however does save Xayah in the process. Kled flashing in aggressively to get to Xayah, and it looks like he will get that Xayah kill. And it looks like BHS take another great fight, taking down 3 members of the other team of Culver, and they're going to be able to get that Infernal Drake. They could even try to switch for that Baron if they wanted to, but they're going to decide better. They're going to decide, let's just Infernal back off and not do it for the Lee Sin tried to go for that steal, however, it just was not going to happen. Safeguards over to miss that great entrance from Rakan. And it looks like the game has suddenly turned in not suddenly, as BHS have just been in control of the game for the past 10 minutes here. Off that back of the ace, they've just been pushing their advantage, taking more picks with the Shyvana. 8-2-3 now, Jay Weezy on Shyvana. Just a massive pick actually for their team. Doing wonders. It's a very unconventional pick. You don't see it a lot in pro play, in the competitive scene. However, it is such a good champion for snowballing. A lot of people do not expect the damage that just comes out of a Shyvana, as she is also very tanky of a champion. We do see she is level 14. She's just power farming compared to this Lee Sin, who just hit level 13. So, 14, she is a level above both of her laners, which is something you don't usually see. We'll have to see if they can keep carrying this game, but it looks very likely, as Vizier has not been able to do as much damage as he had been previously. Gold is even as of now, even with 7k gold, 7 gold, excuse me, even with 7 kills on the side of BHS, it does look like they're still only even on gold because of that farm lead in both the top and the bottom lane. In actually every lane actually has gold lead, except for the jungle with Ana, who just has the gold lead on BHS. We'll have to see if this makes a difference, as the team fights can still be relatively close if Culver can end up dealing with that Shyvana. A good Emperor's Divide, just pushing that Shyvana away from the team can really make sure that you can wait out that dragon form and then hopefully try to fight her after that. We're going to see a team fight happening very soon here. We'll have to see which team makes the first engage, which team makes the first slip up, and who's going to capitalize on the slip up. A little bit of BM by Jay Weezy just taking a little laugh here, as he knows that he is carrying his team right now, doing so much to put his team in the favor here. Stana's going to try to take down that Azir past the turret. It's going to fall very shortly. We'll see if Khan might try to make an engage here, as he is looking up for it. Rima shuffle actually onto the Shyvana. Khan's going to go back in though, however. Great grand entrance and tunnel team. And it looks like BHS are taking this fight handedly, as Yasuo is not able to do it. He does die. Yasuo actually is able to take down the Shyvana. However, he dashes right back into the Stana, not able to do anything as his splash had just been burned. And another ace for BHS. Culver able to take down that Shyvana finally, and that Syndra. However, they were not able to do anything more, as Tristana was just able to free hits for that entire fight. She has scaled very well into that late game with the 2 crit items, Rapid Fire Cannon, the Berserker Greaves to help her out with that extra attack speed, and the Windy Edge for extra crit. And it looks like she's going to take another turn here, and hopefully back off after this, reset for Baron, or maybe take that top lane turret instead as another consolation. And now, for the first time in this game, we do see BHS with a 2k gold lead, and it does not show any time to stop here. We'll have to see. The only real way in back for the game is a Baron steal on by Lee Sin against Shyvana. However, with 2 level difference on the junglers, Smite's going to be a lot stronger from Shyvana, so we'll have to see if Master's Eye Peter can somehow get that Smite in. If BHS does get greedy here and stays his tower foot, they could potentially throw their advantage just a little bit here. However, it looks like they're going to think better of it and decide to back instead. So, one key thing to note here is that, I'm going to stop that statement, as it looks like Culver kind of just rushed down that Baron, and it looks like there's no vision from BHS, and they're just going to sneak Baron off unless Shyvana comes and checks it. Lucian comes in too late, and Culver sneaked the Baron, being able to put themselves back in the game with these Baron waves. They're going to be able to hold the wave in, not be able to let BHS siege anymore, and that's just huge, big misplay by Culver for not being able to go in. However, they are just going to instead engage. They don't need wards, they're just going to be able to engage. Shyvana going in even more, Lee Sin dragons, racing that dragon right out. She's gonna flash that in aggressively. However, Zaya is having none of that. Just pulling back her feathers and not letting that dragon get close to her at all. While they do pick off that Yasuo, the Baron is still huge for the side of Culver, and with Easy Ace chunked on that Tristana, it looks like they're going to have to call off another push. They may try to go reset for that Infernal Crick in 45 seconds. We'll have to see what they do, but that was just a very good pick by J-Man Mac, getting that Rakan ulti in with that Kled ulti to charge him in by Blue Pick, and very aggressive play by Jay Weezy, which did end up forcing the Dragon's Rage and the Zion ulti. So it looks like they won't take that top lane turret. However, they may be leaving this dragon open, which may be a way for Culver to try to get back in the game with the Yasuo, with the Zaya, with the Lee Sin, and the Azir. Infernal Crick would be wonders if they can try to get that. They are instead going to try to siege him in. We do see Shyvana trying to charge her ulti in the bot jungle, and he does get it. Another Rakan ulti going in. He's not expect that cooldown. It looks like he's going down here. Shyvana coming back in from the side. Looks like there's going to be a try to get it. Cosmic Radiance comes in a little bit late. However, it does end up being Lee Sin's life for just a few more moments as he does end up going down. Zaya trying her best to peel off the damage from BHS. Pulls the wrong direction, trying to go back in. Try to get that trade kill with Tristana, however, it does not end up working out for her. As the rest of her team, other than Yasuo and Eric, trying to hold off this Baron, this push. They still have Baron, however, so if they are able to keep up their minions, they may be able to hold off the siege. But with Orange numbers, they could easily get dived by the Shyvana and Kled. It looks like that's exactly what's happening here. Shyvana, Kled, and Rakan just going in, melting out this Yasuo, and Eric is down, and Inhibitor is down, and that is probably the game if they want to go for it. However, instead they choose to back off and go for Cloud Drake, just playing it a little bit safer as the Azir is back up. Can't do a lot of that wave clear. They're going to go for the bot lane turret and possibly a dragon. Could go for another inhibitor turret if they're feeling up to it. However, Tristana is backing. I would think they're going to stop. Tristana cancels it back instead. Lee Sin goes in. Kled goes in as well. A little bit of a scrappy fight going on right now. Yasuo getting a great ulti off in the backside, and it looks like they may be able to turn this game around as Yasuo gets a great ulti in. Great team fight from Culver. Shyvana does secure the dragon, but only Rakan is going to be able to survive in this. Dodging that Lee Sin Q, knocking up Lee Sin and getting that trade kill on Lee Sin is pretty big. However, it looks like Rakan does go down in the end to Azir. Azir is going to try to chase down this Shyvana. Here, Shyvana can do a lot of damage. He does. By pulling down, she's seeing her and stopping from putting out more damage. Whew, it's a big back and forth game with Culver being able to take the lead, capitalizing on the mistake of BHS not backing, not resetting there. They are still 3k goals behind though, so BHS is still definitely in the lead of this game. We'll have to see if Culver can build off the next push from them, or if BHS is going to be able to win this game. We do see the talisman on Rakan. He has had it for quite a while. However, that is really helping him make these engagements. He's going up really fast with that Kled ulti with the talisman active, giving him the extra movement too. Just being able to get him in range for the quickness grand entrance combo, which is really decimating any chance that Culver has of winning these team fights. He did not have it up in that last fight, and it was not really a great fight for him to use it in, so he did not use it, but he does have it now. And as BHS positioned for the mid lane, maybe trying to get another push in, they are looking to kind of collapse on that base, possibly get that bot inhib turret. Baron is not spawning for quite a while, so we'll have to see what they end up doing. They do have the momentum in their favor, and they are going to be able to make the next play. A little bit of an interesting pickup during Randuin's Omen on the Kled. However, it does work very well against the Yasuo, who does a lot of crit damage, and Zaya, who's voting pretty much full crit here. He almost does 100% crit here, I think, if not 100%. So it's really going to do a lot to make sure he does not take a lot of damage. Smart itemization by Blue Pick on Kled. It's also very interesting to see Shyvana with so many damage items, but it does not really matter. She is still very tanky, even with just the tab it's up to kind of Frog the Throat on the Azir to kind of take down the Shyvana by himself, as the rest of his members do not probably do enough damage to really be able to puncture her defenses with those 3 Drakes, giving her fear. Shyvana is going to go in, catches 3, Sun's going to go in, follow her, Khan going in with the red, quickness. However, it looks like Culver is maybe able to hold this, with that Terra ulti, and Yasuo getting that pick onto easy ace on the Stunner. Looks like Culver holds this, not dropping a single member, able to send 4, almost 4, maybe even clean ace here, as Khan comes back in, not supposed to do ulti, and Culver is able to turn his teamfight around, taking a clean ace without dropping a single member. It's an amazing team fight by Culver, and a little bit questionable by Jay Weezy going in there. While he did get that 3-man pick, it was not his team was not ready to follow up on him, and they were trying to go for that bot lane turret. So a bit of a questionable engage, as it looks like Culver may be able to take mid lane turret off of this, and maybe even translate into a Baron if they're able to get the vision off. Likely not a Baron, as the spawn timers are too low for them to be able to do that. However, they will be able to set up a lot of vision around it. It does look like you see some pings onto the Baron, so we'll see if they're going to go for it, if they're going to go try to rush it down. However, Jay Weezy is back up. He is level 17, 1 level over the Lee Sin, so we will have a little bit of a smite advantage. We'll see if he's able to get there in time, however, as they are just shredding this Baron with that Azir, with that Yasuo against Zaya. And it looks like it just goes down. It's like TP's in behind. However, it's not going to matter, he knows he has to back off. And it looks like Culver are once again back in the lead of this game. You see huge CS leads coming in for the Zaya over that Tristana. However, that did not matter earlier until now, however, when she is dealing out this massive damage in these team fights with that Terra ulti being invulnerable. She just cannot be killed until it wears off, which is a big deal for BHS not being able to boost her down. What BHS really has to be able to do here to win this game is get a really clutch Rakan ulti, or with comboed with the rest of their team, and maybe a Syndra stun as well, to just keep the other team locked up. As if Tarek gets that ulti off onto the carries of his team, they're just going to be unkillable. They're going to get so much damage off, and it looks like Yasuo's going to try to go in onto Rakan over here, trying to force his quickness to get out, which is getting to get out, and it does not look good for BHS, as that is the main offensive tool trying to get in. Syndra gets a good stun off, but Baron empowered minions are not going down anytime soon. They're going to need Tristan to help clean this wave out. We're going to have to wait for Yasuo to come back up. However, it is a very short cooldown, Last Whisper, and it's already back up. So if Lee Sin decides to go and get a clutch Dragon's Rage in on the side of Culver, he will be able to basically bubble that Yasuo, keep him in the air for a long time, but the damage dealers go off. That's kind of what they're looking for. However, they are instead choosing to look for that Infernal Drake, which is just spawning. They're going to go take that up. Oh, it's a bit of a spectator bug. It's actually the Elder Drake that just spawned. So it, Culver's going to try to get that. However, they are doing a massive base. They go in on that Stunna with the Yasuo pick. The backline. Backline is going up with BHS. They're not able to do anything as he gets PK'd. Zaya does end up going down. No, I think the fact that Terra goes down, getting that Cosmic Radiant off before he dies, though, is huge, as it looks like it's another ace for side of Culver, and they may be able to take the game off this with the Baron push. Just the great bait by them, as they knew that side of BHS did not have the vision to just continue on there, and it looks like this is going to be the game with those huge spawn timers. Redemption coming out from J-Man Mac, trying to hold on, trying to take that to the wave, but it's not going to be enough, as it looks like Culver was able to take the comeback. While they did throw in the early game, they were able to hold on in the mid game, and just come back in this game, take out Jay Weezy on that Shyvana, and just a great game played by the side of Culver, coming back, taking game 1. GG, well played. We're really gonna have to see. We may not even need to see some adaptations from BHS, as they just needed to kind of hold on to their lead early on, They did fail to snowball the early game. However, they did come back in the mid game with equalizing that gold lead. However, we do need to see Easy A stepping up and Skeenid stepping up on that farm, making sure they can continue to farm up on those champions. Because they did lose a significant amount of gold to Dirtus69 and Frog the Throat, just accruing huge CS leads in the mid and bottom lane, respectively. We'll have to see if BHS is able to adapt, kind of, and just snowball little leads in a much more effective way if they just had to go for another team comp like this. However, that was just a very clean game by Culver in the end, just being able to take it back, not lose control of. Well, they did lose control of the game. They did not tilt off that. They kept in the game. They played to their outs. They ended up winning the team fights as BHS made some poor engages, and if they keep this play up, they may be looking at a 2-0 here. However, BHS is very likely to tie this up if they are able to snowball their leads in the first, like they had in the first game. So we'll see what they can end up doing here. As of now, we are just waiting to get into the next game. So this could take a little bit, as teams do need a little bit more time to prepare. Not a big deal. That was a pretty intense game. It did go to about 35 minutes and had a lot of big back and forth team fights. So we'll have to see if how much time and preparation they're gonna have to do to fix their picks banned for next game. They may want to ban out that Master's Eye Peter on that Lee Sin. He did. They may want to ban out Jay Weezy on the side of for the side of Culver. That Shyvana picked just doing a lot of work in the early game. However, in the late game, it wasn't able to do a lot. Frog the Throat on that Azir did do a lot. However, BHS might want to ban that out instead on their side, as that was a first pick for Culver. They knew they could win the lane with it, and they did not have a great way to do it. They did not have a great way to counterpick it with that Syndra. Just did not end up working out. I would say the top lane went pretty well for X Blue pick. He was able to kind of hold even for as long as he could until the matchup eventually went awry for him. But the bot lane is a major mismatch. However, Easy Ace was not able to keep up in the farm. He needed to be able to keep up in that farm and ended up getting Flame Horizoned in that game. 100 CS lead on Dirtus 69 on that Xayah. He was just able to pump up massive damage with that Taric ulti. So we'll have to see what BHS is able to pull out in this next game to try to pull out a tie here. Okay, it looks like the new game is coming up, so we will get into Champion Select shortly. So stay tuned. Okay, and here we go. We are into Champion Select. This time BHS on the blue side, hopefully being able to change up their bans to target the red side. They do immediately ban that Azir because they did not have a way to counter it. That Syndra did not end up
I do
working out
not
for them.
tolerate
Another Darius
cowardice.
ban on the red side from sorry about that little lisp right there. A Darius ban on the red side for CA Culver because they don't have to change up their bans. They did win that last game. Unless they want to ban up that Shyvana, it does not seem like there's a big
No cure
change
for
needed from them.
fools.
Looks like BHS is just going to ban what they lost to, so they're going to ban that Yasuo too, forcing an adaptation out of the red side in their both of their solo lanes.
I'm on to you.
Twitch ban, keeping their bans the same on CA Culver. We'll see what BHS ends up banning this time. They may end up banning that Xayah, as Dirta69 was very proficient
Who
on it in the
dares
previous
defy
game.
my
They end
will?
up banning that Jarvan, however, as they seem not to be willing to first pick it, and they don't want to give that over to Master Xayah Peter.
I'm absolutely livid.
And sorry, BHS lost the last one actually. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Culver was able to take him in, and we do see the Urgot pick actually by BHS here. That's pretty crazy. That's going to be a very fun pick to watch in the top lane. Urgot's very strong early and mid game. He does fall off a little bit in the late game. However, if you do get those Fear Beyond Death ultis, it's crazy. You can get a lot of crazy executes on that. Vladimir ban we did see on the side. I'm talking about like Leota here, but we did see a Vladimir ban once again. They didn't change up their bans at all. We're going to see a Victor and a Gangplank here. That is very interesting. Victor is a very strong, safe pick. However, the Gangplank is very interesting to see. Maybe that's the response ban to response pick to Urgot. However, I have not. I can't say I've seen that matchup before, so we'll have to see who gets the favor in that. Could be Urgot with his purge ability, able to kill those barrels. However, we will have to see how this ends up going for Shoask versus Blue Pick in the top lane. It was a very close game last time, and we do see a Master Yi lock in for Jay Weezy. So he's going from that Shyvana to that Master Yi. Not a very different playstyle. However, Master Yi with that does have a bit of a actually high skill cap. If you are able to get a lot of alpha strikes off, dodging a lot of damage with that Highlander passive procs, just resetting on that, you can do be able to get out of a lot more CC than he did face in the last game from Culver just stopping him from doing any damage when he was playing Shyvana. We see an Orianna picked up by Skinid, trying to play a safe mid laner against Frog the Throat. Does not want to he does not want to have that same matchup from last time. That Azir into Syndra just did not end up working out. So he's going to pick an Orianna, a pretty safe pick here. And it looks like Dirtus is actually going to switch up the ADCs and take that Tristana. We'll see what CA Culver might want to ban here. They might want to target the ADCs on the other side. Maybe banning out Xayah. They end up banning Draven. Maybe ECS is a Draven player. I still have not been able to look that up. However, based off last game, his Tristana was okay. However, it was not as strong as Dirtus' 69's Xayah. So we'll have to see if he's able to win this matchup, or if CA Culver is just going to draft an aggressive lane and try to punish the bot lane of BHS.
Fine, I'll just be over here, sharpening my feathers.
Kind of odd. I think that's maybe like a
Now
misban
I'm
with that
angry.
Xayah, as they did, or as CA Culver already did lock in the Tristana. So I'm not really sure why the Xayah ban came out. Maybe they just were not paying attention to that Tristana ban. A little bit of a misban there, but it may not end up mattering too much.
The weak fear the
A
shadows.
Kane ban coming out, as they
Fear
do not want
controls
Master
them.
Xayah Peter playing that. We did see that in last game ban. They're just a little afraid of that. Might see a Cho'Gath pick coming here for the jungle, I assume, Master's Eye Peter, or they could go back for that Tarek. Hope and Me did play very well in that, just getting those Cosmic Radiances off to make sure his damage healers could stay alive, and we are going to see that pick once again. Now we'll have to respond and see what the bot lane from BHS is going to be. Might end up seeing a Kog'Maw here, as that was banned last game by the side of BHS actually. We'll see if they want to pick it up here or what they end up wanting to pick up. And they pick up Misfortune, a very interesting pick. Could be very good for like a Wombo combo if they decide to go for that. If they do go for an Annie, that would be very interesting. J-Man and Mac being able to get those ultis off with Misfortune trying to combo with that. Looks like a Thresh might come in here too. Not really seeing too much of a synergy. However, if you do get like a death sentence into like the box on Thresh, we do see Misfortune be able to maybe clean up. Very interesting bot lane coming in on the side of BHS. Not the one you see very much these days. Thresh has kind of fallen out of the meta in favor of Ardent supports. He is starting to creep back up as Ardent has been nerfed recently. Misfortune is very interesting. You do usually see kind of back to that lethality that you used to see earlier in the season with Duskblade, Yomu's trying to get that Q damage off on that ulti. And we did see Master's Eye Peter lock in that Gragas for his jungle. Just a very safe meta pick. Sejuani was open, however, he just did not want to play it. Favors that Gragas over it. And just a very interesting team comp inside of BHS. Maybe looking to go for their comfort picks here with that Urgot, that Master Yi, Misfortune, kind of Thresh as well. However, we do see kind of interesting damage dealers on the side of CA Culver with that Victor and Gangplank. So we'll have to see if they're able to kind of win their lanes or what's really going to happen in the top and the mid lane. It's going to be very interesting to see how that ends up going. We do see a bit of an interesting idea. Oh no, he did change his cleanse from Ghost. So Frog of the Throat did have cleanse earlier. However, he did decide to change to Ghost, or it could just be a spectator bug right now on my screen. However, he is taking Ghost to be able to just get that movement speed to escape a gank from Master Yi potentially, or try to roam bot or top faster to give the advantage to his side laners. If we do have to say where the advantages will go in each lane, top lane is going to be very interesting. I do think Urgot will win the lane early, as Gangplank has a notoriously weak early game. However, like that Yasuo, if Choask is able to kind of snowball in that pick, we will be able to see him pop off later on in team fights with barrel combos just decimating the other team. The switches the backline, the Mastery, the Orianna, that Misfortune just could instantly die to a Gangplank barrel. So we'll have to see how that ends up going. Mid lane, while the lane technically would be typically even, we do have to respect kind of what happened last game with Frog the Throat pushing in Skeened constantly in another even matchup. So I will expect that Victor will be able to push in this Orianna here, just kind of based off Skeened maybe playing a little scared and more respectful based off what happened last game. Finally, in the bot lane, we see Tristana Taric versus Misfortune Thresh. While I'm not very familiar with Misfortune Thresh, I do not see them being out the potential that Tristana and Taric have. While Taric does have the high mana cost early on, like I mentioned last game, he will be able to actually heal his laner with Tristana, while Thresh will not be able to heal Misfortune, only kind of shield some damage with that Dark Passage, his Lantern. So I do expect Dirta69 and Hope in Me to be able to push out Easy Ace and J-Man Max. So it looks like there are more winning lanes on the side of Culver here. However, with the kind of interesting team comp that BHS put together, you never know what's going to happen, especially based off last game with the back and forth we saw. If Jayweezy is able to pop on this Master Yi like he popped off on Shyvana, the game may be unstoppable for BHS, as Master Yi is a lot harder to stop when he's ahead than Shyvana. As Shyvana is able to, you can CC her very easily. She's very telegraphed. Master Yi can dodge her CC with Q, and the only real CC they have to stop him is Taric stun and Gragas body slam and ulti. So we'll see if BHS is able to finally snowball a lead this game, or if Culver is just going to stomp them in the late game with their stronger team comp. As we load into game, place your bets in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this game right here? Game 2 in BHS versus CA Culver. CA Culver does have the 1-0 lead right now in the series, but anything could happen based off that last game. So show your support for the teams in chat, vote for who you think is going to win, and let's get into this game. Let's start it up and see what happens here. Nothing too unusual going on with the starting items. Gangplank does like to go for that early sheen, so you do see him starting that mana crystal. His landing phase is going to be very weak because of it. However, that is not so much of a detriment, as he will probably try to TP in to get that early sheen, finish it off, and maybe start harassing Urgot in lane. We do see a possible invade with that Thresh going in by the side of BHS. However, it looks like JWoozy is lagging a little behind. They may wait on that. However, CA Culver does not know about this yet. They do see the Taric. Taric does sound like he's might know a little bit about this. JWoozy's gonna come out immediately out of the bush and dance alongside CA Culver. And CA Culver is gonna put out that ward. And it looks like the invade is foiled here for the side of BHS.
2 tickets to the gem show.
Still a little respectful dancing going on here, especially waiting in that bush, seeing if you can maybe get a little hook on Hoping Me. But Hoping Me is just going to go back on that Taric and get ready to lose the blue buff for his Gragas. On the bot side, once again, both leashing their junglers who are going to do a bot top, try to influence that top lane and see what goes on there. We'll see who gets the better of them this time. We do know that JWoozy did win that trade in the 2v2 basically last time, so we'll see if he can do it again on this Master Yi or if he wants to power farm. Do once again see the Dorn shield on Dirtus, just giving a little bit of respect over it in case of the love taps that Misfortune gives. I surpassed the name, by the way, not just saying for auto attacks or love taps, but that's what the name is. So just wanted to take a little bit of less of that damage. We do see actually a pretty strong Q from Misfortune. That is one thing you have to watch out for. When her Q goes off onto a minion, you have to watch out for how much damage it's going to do, as it does do more damage if the minion is executed. So if it kills a unit and goes onto you, it will do a lot more damage. So Urgot is able to take the lead in the top side like we expected. Big wave pushing into TP, though he might be able to get a CS lead here actually, because Urgot did miss a few of those CS in the first two waves. A little bit of aggression going down in bot lane, as it looks like Easy Ace and J-Man Mac are actually going to be able to get the push in this time, hit their level 2 first. So a little bit of aggression going on in them. However, not too much going to come off of it. Even CS in pretty much early lane right now. A little bit of trade going in back and forth for the Ori and the Victor. However, Ori does look like she may have done better of that trade in the mid lane. You see that after he actually backed, he was on with 2 and decided to back instead of taking his blue buff. You see Gragas actually coming around mid lane, maybe trying to get a gank onto that Orianna. A little bit of death sentence, getting into a little bit of trade. Another great Q by Easy Ace. Maybe this is his comfort pick, and maybe he is able to turn his bot lane around. We do see a mid lane gank onto Orianna. Regular Gragas flanking into a body slam, into a kill. Skiinid didn't burn any summoners because he knew he wasn't going to be able to get away from that. And basically advantage to the mid lane of CA Culver now. It looks like Gangplank almost dies to the purge of Blue Pick on the Urgot there. Ends up having to flash away. Will he have enough money for Sheen? Do you think so? He's very short on that Sheen money, just needs a little bit more. So he's not going to actually end up buying it, which is huge on his first back, not buying that Sheen. So he's going to have only stick with that mana crystal and the 2 potions that he has from the resource potion. Another Q from this portion onto Taric, just dealing some good harass damage. However, Taric is doing his best to kill that up, as it does not. That's the harass damage no longer shows on the side of Culver. Orianna already got that back in mid lane because of that death, so Victor's going to back off right now. Going to get a little bit of an item advantage, getting that blasting wand over Oriana's amplifying tone. We do see Jay Weezy going for, instead of last time doing a few more ganks early on, he's just going to farm on that Master Yi. We'll see if that ends up putting off late game or not. Another big trade in the top lane. Gangplank is flashless. We'll see if Urgot can try to get the kill here, because flashes for that auto attack, or does not even flash. Knowing his damage, ends up getting the kill onto Joe Ass, who honestly disrespectfully kind of picked that Gangplank into Urgot, knowing that Urgot will destroy that early lane. He does buy a Sheen, however, that may not be enough, as Urgot may be able to try to snowball this lane on his own without any jungler assistance. Looks like Easy Ace is actually taking up the slack from last game, as last game he was quite a bit of CS behind. While the CS is pushing into Culver's favor, Easy Ace is able to actually pick up a little bit of a CS lead over Dirtus and Hope and Me on the side of Culver. So this is looking to be a much better game for BHS, and with that Master Z assurance for kind of like popping off at level 6, we'll see if they are able to actually kind of snowball this game, which is what they're kind of hoping to do once they hit about the 10-minute mark. Not really making many moves early on, other than we did see the Master's Eye Peter kind of going in for that early game gank in mid lane. He hasn't really been able to find much more else. He has been kind of looking mid lane, but nothing to find over there. Bot lane is too well warded by the side of the BHS. Oh my god, that was some nasty damage by that Misfortune Q, just kind of crazy actually onto that Tristana. Trying to go for another one, but just not getting it. But she can just keep harassing. Mana cost on the Q is not that high. It does look like BHS were able to actually take the lane. I guess Terra was a little bit too passive, and with that Thresh support, kind of being able to, have the pressure of that hook, Misfortune is just able to kind of go off in that. We see about a 15 CS advantage in the top lane, which is pretty huge actually on the side of Blue Pit. He's going to get another flip, the Disdain coming in. We'll see if Gangplank can try to get out of this ulti, this Fury Beyond Death. He does actually end up getting out of it, as Blue Pit did flash in to try to get the killer. However, it does stop as kill comes in. However, moving to bot lane, Thresh kind of flashing back in a kind of odd way after missing the play. However, he did hit the death sentence, forcing the flash out of Hope and Me. Oh, sorry, the exhaust out of Hope and Me, and the heal out of Dirtus 69, kind of snowballing their advantage in the bot lane, which I really like to see. We see, however, another mid lane gank, kind of an odd Gragas body slam flash. He would have just hit the body slam anyways. And Ori is able to just kind of flash out as Victor does miss the ulti. So, bit of a questionable play in the mid lane. However, they do get the Ori on a flash, which they can try to capitalize on later. Victor does have a large advantage. However, here comes Master Yi, just running in. Flashes out that Victor Ghost. However, Victor is able to get the gravity field. Victor's Ghost does end up saving him in the end, and that's got to be a little tilting for Jay Weezy, as he's not able to get that kill, even though he does burn his flash. He does end up burning Frog for Throats, both of his summoner spells, so we can try to look for a turn gank. So it looks like both junglers are probably going to try to go for that mid gank once again. And it looks like Master's Eye Peter's going to give him that move up. Here comes Jay Weezy in the bot lane. He knows this Terra has no flash. However, Buster Shot does come in. There's a lot of damage. However, looks like they will be able to get this kill on the side of BHS, and possibly a kill onto Tristana. Looks like Jay Weezy goes in, and will he be able to get the kill? Gets the kill and gets out with the death sentence. Great thinking by the side of BHS, getting that double kill when it seemed unlikely, even through that cosmic radiance by the Terra. So it's very well played by the side of BHS, snowballing the bot lane, snowballing kind of all the lanes other than the mid lane right now, which is actually going pretty even though that first blood did come through. So it's really good play from BHS right now. So we'll see if they can keep it up. As we did know they kind of threw their lead last game. However, it does look very strong and very convincing right now. So we'll see if they can hold on to this lead. Once again, we do see the Urgot trying to go in the top end, getting a lot of damage off, forcing the flash out of GP, and that Fear Beyond Death just killing GP. No way out of that, other than actually he can get out with the oranges, however he did not end up saving his W for the ulti. Just huge damage by that MFQ once again onto that Terra. Now that she has that serrated dirt, she's going to start doing a lot more damage with that armor damage. She's probably going for that Duskblade, as Duskblade does do a lot of damage on MF. We do see a lot of MFs doing that these days when we do see that rare MF. TP forced out by Choask, Hook going stray in the top lane, and another huge Q, and the play out of the rocket jump from Sana just nets the kill along with the ulti from Misfortune on Easy Ace, or Easy Ace on Misfortune, sorry. Yes. Another huge play by BHS in the bot lane. Way to go, way to really turn around that first game when they had that Flame Horizon on Easy Ace. You see Master Yi kind of run down from Throat in the mid lane. However, he does go a little too far, a little too headstrong right there, and he's not able to get the kill as the Orion ulti only hits Master Side Peter on that Gragas, who is able to then CC him under the turret. Bit of an ambitious play by JWeezy, not being able to kind of snowball as well as he did before on that Spanna. Looks like mid lane and the jungle are the only hope for Culver right now, as they are slowly kind of losing this game. Unless they are able to kind of keep up farm and kind of wait for the late game with that TP to power spike later on, it does not look likely that they're going to be able to win this game, as Culver is doing just what they needed to do, you know, snowballing that early game and trying to translate those into objectives. We're going to need to see if they can actually do that though, if they can get those objectives, as no dragons have gone down yet, no turrets have gone down yet. It's quite a bit of turret damage and a lot of kills going in on the side. We do see a 1k gold lead, however, right now for BHS, which is pretty substantial. CS leads, 20 CS leads in the top lane, 20 CS in the bot lane. Only about a wave CS lead in mid lane, as Victor is not going to be able to pick up that CS in the mid, as he just backed. It is looking very good for BHS right now, and we have to wonder if Master Side Peter on that Gragas is able to kind of come back and bring his team back into the game, as he does need to get some good ganks off to be able to do that. JWeezy trying to get a little aggressive, use that blasting position bot jungle. However, another aggressive play by the bot lane, going in and getting that kill on openly, really abusing the other team in this 2v2 with the death sentence. As soon as J-Man Mac gets the death sentence into a play, Easy Ace is able to respond to the ulti and get the kill. It looks like basically a solo kill coming in for Froggy Throat, who is able to he does get cleaned up by Luvic. In the bot lane, however, Gragas is trying to get that kill onto Master Yi, who is able to just meditate, not taking any damage from that Gragas, and is able to get out. Looks like they're going to try to go back in for this Gragas. J-Man Mac trying to take up that turret. Turret aggro does switch off rapidly onto Easy Ace, who ends up having it flash out, and it looks like nothing ends up happening here in this lane, as Gragas is able to get away. And the turret is able to stay alive. Turret is able to pick up the CS, and while not much goes on there, in the mid lane, however, we do see that first turret going down to that Urgot, who had just killed that Victor in the mid lane, and that's going to be a pretty big lead. In that mid first turret is huge. We do see that ward paying off from JWeezy though, as he may be able to steal his blue buff and get the kill onto Master Side Peter. However, he is not able to get it as the slow from the Gragas Q is enough to keep him down. We'll have to see if he can get out of here, however, as here comes Gragas on that Victor. He tries to pull a little bit more damage, but he is slammed down by that Gragas Cask, who is able to take him down. Orion getting very aggressive here, trying to take down Gragas. However, kind of just a little bit of a ring around the rosy here, as neither team is able to, you know, make a pick onto the other. So Jay-Weezy in this game is kind of showing that maybe he needs to find a better way to snowball. He was a very proficient on the Tristana, being able to do a ton of damage. However, maybe now the side of Culver is expecting it a lot more. The Terra Goldie coming in just a trade from the side of BHS. They are handedly destroying this bot lane. Another great death sentence into an ulti from the MF. Just tons of damage, destroying that bot lane of Culver. Rox is trying to come around with that Victor, however. They did not spot this out. However, the death sentence will be able to sorry, not the death sentence, but the Dark Passage connects. Rox ulti tries to push back the direction of the team. However, it looks like his team has already backed off. So the Gragas ulti wasted kind of there, as no one was able to follow up on it. Stalemate in the bot lane as Orion came down to respond to it, and Urgot is just going to be able to push in this, push in and pressure this TP in the top lane. So we'll see if maybe he's able to get another solo kill on the tower. He may be looking for it right now, as he knows no one else from the other team is there. He's going to look for that disdain to kind of jump in right there. It does hit the ulti, and Gangplank forces the flash out there, forces the ulti, and that's going to be a dragon for blue team as they relieve the pressure from bot side, and it looks like Urgot might be able to actually just take that tower up top, as no one is going to be able to respond to him. So these unconventional picks, other than kind of the mass media, I guess, really just working wonders for the side of BHS. This is exactly what they need to take out. Now sitting at basically a 3k gold lead at 15 minutes, this is something that's going to be very hard for them to throw. Hopefully I don't cast me first time and I spoke too soon, but it looks like BHS should be able to take this game if they continue playing to their strengths, continue playing to that Urgot, into that GP, and this Thresh is making huge pigs. Game and Macri off, Tarek flashing but bringing that Macri in at the same time. It looks like Jay-Weezy is able to get the trade kill, however, this time around. Kind of an interesting trade, going a little bit actually in the favor of Culver, CA Culver here. Top lane, however, he is going in the favor of BHS, as another great death sentence by J-Man Mac on that Thresh, able to take down Tristana. Victory flashing in with that Chaos Storm, able to get a kill onto just easy ace on that MF. He is going to try to chase down Thresh, however, Skeenade is able to kill him down, and it looks like in the 2v1 in the top lane that the Urgot, blue pick on this Urgot is just smashing, able to take down the Gragas, Master Dive Peter on the Gragas. However, he does get a little coffee. He was out of mana, he did not have enough mana to finish it off, and Gangplank does end up getting the kill on him, shutting him down. Looks like Skeenade and J-Man might be able to get the turn in the bot lane. However, here comes Hopeman Me, clearing that wave out on the Tarek as well as he can, and forcing them off the wave. While we do kind of see a stagnation in the game, this is actually very good for the side of Culver. If they can keep kind of stagnating the game, you know, trading kills, and not really letting any objectives go through for the other team, then they will be able to, in a way, stall out the game and kind of bank on that GP getting stronger and stronger late game, which is exactly what they want to be able to do. We'll see if they can do that. However, still have a 3k gold lead on the side of BHS, so it's very hard to tell what's going to go on in this game. However, if BHS can continue just playing on this MF, playing on this Playmaker Thresh, J-Man Mac with these great hooks on Thresh, they probably will be able to take this game. So we'll see what they're able to do, as Jay-Weezy is trying to come up on to gank top lane. However, Victor does see this, he is trying to back it up. However, Jay-Weezy got spotted on the blue trinket, takes it out, and is now actually coming back top. Another blue trinket replacing him, so he is spotted once again, and Gangplank is kept safe as Victor's turn. Thresh came in back on Thresh, trying to stop Gragas taking that blue buff. Gragas does run away in the end, so Thresh is not ending that game. Grog is trying to kind of get in that bush, trying to make a bush gank. However, it looks like the bot lane's going to back off and try to rotate. We do see a possible dive coming in on this gameplay, and it looks like Urgot's strength. It looks very likely that's going to happen. Urgot just immediately takes him down with Jweezy, and he's dead. It looks like top lane is going to go possibly down. Victor trying to secure that wave, maybe stall that wave if he can. However, bot lane can go in on the bot side of Culver. We'll see what they end up doing. Urgot versus Victor is going to be a very interesting matchup if they end up trying to go for solo kills on each other. They're both 4-2-1, both about the same CS. However, Urgot actually does have a little bit of CS to make a little bit stronger, getting that sustain off. Fury on death going in, and Urgot is able to massacre Frog the Throat on that Victor. And he's going to be able to clean up that tower very nicely, able to get another gold pin for the lead, slim on to a 5k gold lead. It looks very likely that BHS are going to tie this series up. Great hook by J-Man Mac on this Thresh, forcing out the rocket jump from Tristana. Chunks get half HP from that. If they can get a good Oriole into that ability, it's going to be great. However, it's a great body slam flash onto 3 members of the other team, pushing back the Thresh. However, it looks like the explosive cast is not able to bring back any priority targets other than Thresh, so it looks like nothing is really going to come up with that, as all that happens is J-Man, Macboat, trades the splash, or Master's Eye Peter's splash on the ground. Inferno Drake coming up in the next minute. We'll see if either team tries to prioritize that. BHS does have the advantage, they might try to go for it and further increase their damage in team fights. See what ends up happening though in the next minute. We see Jweezy trying to wait up on the wings of the fight, trying to maybe get a flank in, trying to kill that Tristana. He does have flash, he could try to flash in onto that Tristana. He is at 3/4 HP right now. We'll see what ends up happening here, however. Another hook onto Frogger, that's not the target that J-Man Mac wanted to find, so we'll wait for the next engage to try to get another hook, maybe after that Tristana, maybe weave it onto that Victor, see what ends up happening. Victor's warding up on the side, is able to spot out Dragon about to go live in 2 seconds. Great gangplank barrel combo onto Easy Ace, just chunking him out. He does not have any life steal, there's no way to heal him up other than that Ocean Drake healing. It's going to take a very long time to heal him back up to full, so he is forced to back here. And apparently it's an Ocean Drake, and I'm just getting it on the side. So this is a Ocean Drake that the teams will be fighting over. Not the most prioritized Drake, but it could help the side of BHS very much, as they do not have any other way to sustain. Another barrel combo just destroying the health bar of BHS, and maybe this gangplank is what we're at the point where they needed it. He does get hooked, however he does have the oranges, so he's okay. Gets another barrel combo off onto Urgot, chunking him another 500 HP. Here goes Jweezy on the side of the fight, trying to ult into that Tristana, however he thinks better of it as Tristana locks in the bush and the rest of the team, and backs off. Kind of a stalemate going on here once again. This is kind of good for Culver, as I mentioned before. However, BHS is going to take the Ocean Drake. And with that 60 gold lead, it looks like they might be able to kind of take the next fight. They go in onto the gangplank. Great ML gold lead, just zoning that whole fight. Getting 2 picks onto the gangplank and onto the Tarek. And another pick with that Fury on death, perfectly hitting that Tristana. And it looks like Culver are able to take this lead. Interesting play from Urgot to kind of teleport up. There's a huge wave, I guess they don't want to lose the turret. However, they might actually just turn to the Baron, so I may stay corrected. That is actually a good play from Urgot. Turn that wave out, and then just snowball this into a Baron. And it looks like Master's Eye Peter has no way to respond to this. He's only in base. I actually almost see Jweezy going down right there. Possible steal possible coming in from Victor, but no. Jweezy is able to heal, stay alive with that open great healing with his team healing him with J-Man Mac and Skeenan. And they take that Baron handedly. They are at almost 10k gold lead, 9k gold lead, pretty much exactly here on the side of BHS, and hopefully they're able to convert this into a win. pushing up in the mid lane here. A lot of damage on that Orianna with that Luden's Echo and Morellonomicon. Sorcery's just tearing up that Hopen Me on that Tarek, who does not have any magic, just only has he's trying to build towards that Knight's Vow for Tristana. We are looking at a lot of damage from Shoask, but if he cannot get that barrel combos off on his squishies, it's not going to matter for him in that gameplay. We see Superman Gragas on the side trying to maybe get a pick there, but it does not look likely as BHS smells something fishy going on. They don't have all their teammates there either, so they're just going to back off. Here for BHS. You just have to wait for what their next move is going to be. They're kind of selling this as Baron, not really trying to make a push here. With Urgot on the wings, they might be trying to make a play here. Urgot is spotted out by Culver. They do kind of have an inkling of an idea that he's there. He'll meet up with that Gangplank in the top lane now, unless he decides to instead go down into the mid lane and take that siege, which I think is a great idea. If they can kind of push this mid lane turret, they will be able to kind of get advantage. Great flash on from Rex. He does get pushed back by the Buster Shot, nullifying it. Good counter Buster Shot by Dirtus. However, Jay Weezy just going in, taking out Dirtus 69 on that Tristana. Going to try to take down that. Urgot trying to go in, get that Fury on Death. He does get Fury on Death onto Tarek. The turret's still alive, hitting at him, but he is fearless. He's just going in constantly on Urgot. Not afraid of anything. And he's on a rampage now, taking down Frog the Throne. It's a huge pick coming in from Zupik, and it looks like BHS might be able to just win the game off this one play. Decided to keep going in here. They picked up that inhibitor, however they are going to back off here. Just wanted to be a little cautious, I understand that for sure. However, they did do the same thing last game, and they did end up losing. However, this is an 11k gold lead. Losing does not seem very likely here for them, unless Gangplank can get some very good ultis off with some great barrel combos. It looks like BHS are just going to be able to continue massacring the other teams of Culver and tie this series up. Remember, Culver did win the first game, however, these teams are very evenly matched up. Culver got able to take that Dark Passage out, kind of putting a lot of damage onto Masters like Peter and Gragas as well. So that's kind of insane. While he's escaping, Urgot's just able to dish out massive damage. As everyone on BHS does back, we are going to probably see a final push. 12k gold will be coming in after that most recent turret. 6 turrets to none, and just pushing down mid lane could be the end for BHS. They could go to top lane instead. Top lane does not really matter where they go. They just kind of push down the spy in the game here, and that'll probably be the end of the series, tying it up 1-1. Looks like Hopen Me's gonna get picked on this Tarek here, tries to flash over the wall. However, MF was expecting that. Popsicon created just a little bit too late. He does get saved by a sliver of HP, but he does go down in the end. And it looks like BHS are going to try to snowball this into pushing the wave, into hopefully getting that top and bottom lane turret, while Urgot still pushes that top side with the TP still up. Things are not looking good for Culver here, as they are down 12k gold and down a member for 15 more seconds. They don't have that Cosmic Rage to save them. Here comes BHS in the mid lane, trying to get a pick onto that Tristana, and he does! K-Man Magus is going crazy with these things. Such great accuracy. This is Pure Beyond Death from X-Lumic, but it looks like this game is over as we see dives the fountain on that Master E pick. Not caring out of no life, getting that Gangplank kill, and it looks like Blue Pick with Easy Ace are just going to take down the first Nexus turret and make a pick onto Open B once again. And they are killing over both teams, making it a 2-0 series, tying the series up. 2 points are going to go to both teams, as BHS really stepped up this game and totally changed up what they did from game 1. Well played, BHS, for tying the series up, beating both teams 1-1. Great games from both sides. Yeah, that Urgot pick, that MF and Thresh bot lane just really worked well for the team BHS. And that gang plank ended up not paying out as they just could not. He was just too vulnerable in the early game for Urgot to abuse. So a bit of a cocky pick, didn't end up working out. And while he was able to deal out massive damage in that kind of one play in the middle of the game, he just was not able to do enough to carry the rest of his team. So that's going to be it for our League of Legends stream today. Great game by both teams. Great games by both teams. First game was really back and forth. Second game was a lot more controlled by BHS, able to kind of come back from an 0-1 deficit. So congratulations to both teams for making a tie, and I hope the rest of y'all have a wonderful day.
T-minus 10, 9, 8.